Why not take the field goal? You got the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts.
It'll be fun to watch Sunday, but I think it's going to get the best of them.
DK Metcalf why would you want to stir up Jamar Chase after he has 3 touchdowns? And you've got this secret weapon in Devon Witherspoon.
The Seattle Seahawks versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Unfortunately for the Seahawks, they fall short to the Bengals, 13-17, in a weird yet surprisingly entertaining game. In my personal opinion, I'm going to let you all know ahead of time. Yes, I am a Cincinnati Bengals fan, always have been, always will be. So at least I can let you all know I saw the game. I know what I like from the Seahawks. I know what I didn't like from the Seahawks. I will be unbiased, and I will definitely be able to tell you all what you could have done to actually embarrass the Bengals. So I will be able to let you guys know on a clear standpoint where I think you guys faltered, where I think you guys did really well. First things first, Geno Smith is better than I thought he was. I'm going to start with that. Geno Smith is better than I thought he was. Yes, he had the 2 interceptions. I do believe that the one to DK was a miscommunication, or I need you guys to let me know, is that a normal thing for DK? It kind of seemed like Cam Taylor-Britt was kind of getting under his skin a little bit. It kind of seemed like the Bengals was taking away the deep ball from him, even though he did get one towards the end of the game. I don't know. Is this a normal thing? It looked like DK's body language was off. It looked like DK wasn't really invested in the game. I know he left for a little bit with a little hip injury on that deep ball towards the right sideline where Dax Hill hit him. It looks like there's some trouble in paradise. Jaxon Smith Njigba had an opportunity to make his name known on that Mike Hilton interception. I do think Njigba could have done a little bit more to try to get the ball, maybe turn into a DB to make sure Mike Hilton didn't intercept the ball. Also, Geno, you got to lead him to the back of the end zone. Mike Hilton is our weak point on defense. Of all 11 starters, the offensive coordinators look at 21 on Cincinnati Bengals defense and they attack him in all types of different ways. He is the weak point of our defense. Jaxon Smith Njigba should have got his against him. They definitely should have isolated him a little bit more. They definitely should have put Mike Hilton in precarious situations where Njigba just needed to make one move to break up Mike Hilton and everything would have been flashy. Kenneth Walker, 19 carries for 62 yards. I am not against the 19 carries for 62 yards, but I am very, very much against the 2 carries for 5 yards with Zach Charbonnet. Bengals don't like it when defense run on them. And Kenneth Walker was showing legitimate patience, which I love in running backs. The idea is to wait for a hole to open at times, which is what he was doing, and I thought he was doing it very, very well. I also think this is going to be a dig at Pete Carroll, but your defense was playing good the whole game. Why aren't you taking field goals? Trust your defense. The Bengals got 2 touchdowns in the first half and 3 points in the second half, and it was all because of your defense. Devon Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, Quandre Diggs put a blanket around Jamar. T. Higgins was mentally out of the game once again. I don't know what's wrong with him, but it looked as if the secondary for the Seattle Seahawks was ready and prepared for the Bengals' elite wide receiver unit. I understand we got ours at points and times, but Pete Carroll, your defense held an elite offense to 17 points. Our left tackle left the game, so that means bring more heat, which was happening, more man coverage, which was happening, and trusting your defense, which was not happening. You had opportunities to win the game if you take an early field goal in the fourth quarter. You got the ball back. All you needed to do at that point in time was kick another field goal. You go for it on 4th down late in the game, you don't get it, and you kind of put your defense in an unfortunate situation. Get the 3 points, live to fight another day. Your defense was playing legit the whole game. I don't understand. Seahawks fans, am I crazy? Go get those 3 points in the fourth quarter. Very easy, very simple. And then you get the ball back and you don't have to go for a touchdown. You literally just go for another field goal. So I don't really know what the issue is there. Back to Zach Charbonnet, he needs more than 2 carries, guys. I'm sorry. Spending a 2nd round pick on a running back who is big, he has a lot of tools, a lot of gifts, but he's got to get more than 2 carries. That's a fact. And I like Kenneth Walker. This needs to be a 1-2 punch. 21 carries between the both of them. They need to have that split. Maybe Kenneth gets a little bit more, but what you guys were doing, which was so unfortunate, is you were getting out of your own groove and you were putting yourself in your own way. What do I mean by this? You saw that the Bengals were kind of getting their juices up a little bit, having these good drives being stalled out by field goals, and some of these drives are being stalled out with 3 and outs. Your defense was playing great. And in Pete Carroll's mind, I think he approached the game from a scared standpoint and said, hey, these guys are going to start scoring. So let's start passing the ball to Kenneth Walker, who had 3 receptions. Let's pass the ball to Zach Charbonnet, who got 2 receptions. No, not at all. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. The Bengals were the 31st rushing defense coming into this game in week 6. Run the ball. That is the DNA of the Seattle Seahawks. Always has been, always will be. The Geno Smith option is secondary to after the run. I know you guys have Damian Lewis out. That's unfortunate. Of course, Abraham Lucas did not come off of IR. That's unfortunate. But the DNA should not change. You should not change your DNA. What you do against the Bengals is you use your tight ends. You use your very big wide receivers. Our biggest corner is 6 foot. You have DK Metcalf. You have Jake Bobo, who's a giant. And you have Will Dissly, Noah Fant. Noah Fant should have had a 15 reception game. 15 reception game. Everything should have went to Noah Fant. The Bengals do not like tight ends on their safeties and on their smaller DBs. They hate play action. They hate patient runners too. It's what gashes them. Nick Chubb kills the Bengals because he's so patient. I don't think this was a great offensive game plan for the Seattle Seahawks. I think this was an amazing game plan defensively, just not offensively, right? I do think Geno Smith having 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions is something to keep your eye on. I need to know in the comment section, do we still believe in Geno Smith, Seahawks fans? Do we still believe in Geno? I need to know in the comments. Another big one is this. I really did not like the body language of Jaxon Smith Njigba and of DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett had that big play in the middle of the field. Great pass by Geno. But is everything okay in Seattle? How do you guys feel about the leadership of Geno? How do you guys feel about the camaraderie within the wide receiver unit? How do you guys feel about Njigba always having his head down? I felt like the announcers were always talking about how he needs to pick himself up because the season's not going great. I wouldn't like that on my team, just being honest. Let me know what you guys see in the comments. But I think this is a game y'all definitely could have won and should have won. I do believe the Bengals have an amazing defense as well. We also do have an amazing offensive unit. That's why I don't understand the slander towards the Seahawks. These are 2 good teams. These are 2 good teams. Whoever wins, you just lost to a good team. You didn't lose to a bad team. So be happy about that. I think this team is definitely still on the run for the NFC West. This is a scary... I do not want to play the Seahawks in the playoffs. I'll say it like that. I do not want to see Devon Witherspoon seasoned in the playoffs, understanding the game in the playoffs. I don't want to see that. So I want to bang on the drum that Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker need to be the focal point. I need Damian Lewis, Abraham Lucas back healthy immediately. And I need the tight end play to be incorporated into the passing game. You have too many large targets for that not to be the identity. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe.